Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Kdunbar, and I represent Rite Aid Corporation in this lawsuit filed by Ms. Lopez and her attorneys. As I indicated this morning, my version is a little different than their version. So let's go over a couple of things that we need to get straight here in this case. We do agree to a couple of things. Ms. Lopez is a frequent customer of our store. It's her favorite store. She lives 0.7 miles away from it. She comes in all the time. The accident happens 2 days before Christmas. Where we differ, though, position of merchandise. This is the seasonal section of the store. These are goods that are for sale for Christmas. Right here, home decor. Nutcracker, things you put in your front lawn. This section right here, candy. Candy canes on both sides. Then you have lights and ornaments. These are shelves with end caps on them. Lights and ornaments, toys, and plush toys. Those are the dolls. Cosmetic gift sets, electronics. That's how the store is set up. We do not mix, nor do we match, holiday ornaments and toys. Go into any store this time of year. Wall of ornaments and lights. That's how the store was set up on December 23, 2007. The reason why that's important is that after this incident, you're going to hear testimony of a photograph that was taken by the plaintiff's daughter and husband without the plaintiff being present. And they went into our store after the Christmas holiday and took a picture of an aircraft box, because that's what the plaintiff told them to go take the picture of. Christmas is over. Valentine's Day is coming up. Seasonal changes. The merchandise that you're going to hear, that aircraft carrier box right there, was stacked in a 12-foot section of shelf. You could get 5 of them across. The shelf itself, 5 feet, 6 inches tall. Eye level, most adults. That's how tall the shelf is. And the reason why you know it's that tall is that this end cap right here is 5 feet 6 inches tall. And even when you see that photograph that the plaintiff took a week after this event, when the merchandise had been moved from where it was located at the time of the accident to the clearance bin, that shelf matches the top of the end cap. 5 feet 6 inches tall. No taller. Right here. It's actually here. I try to shoot. I'm trying to claim a 5'7". It's eye level to every adult in this room except for Ms. Lopez. Now, on the evening of December 23, 2007, Ms. Lopez claims she was injured. But again, nobody saw her. We know she's in the aisle where the lights and the ornaments are, because in her deposition testimony, and she will testify on the stand, when she comes out of the aisle, she is in line with cash register number 1. Right here is where she's going to come out and go pay for her items. That right there, ladies and gentlemen, lights and ornaments, not toys. She also testified she doesn't have any small children at home. No reason for her to be in the toy. Where the items were located, it's only 5 feet 6 inches tall. Not really high, not super high, like the plaintiff's expert's going to come in here and testify to. Because he's going to claim that shelf was over 7 feet tall when that thing fell. Not the case. The store had been remodeled 2 years after this accident, because this occurred 3 years ago. The other item of contention, ladies and gentlemen, is in fact Ms. Lopez's type of CMT disease. She's had this disease since childhood. But as with most diseases, there are different variations of this disease. She has a version called Cousset-Levy syndrome. It's CMT with a superimposed tremor portion on it. And for over 10 years, since 2000, she's been treated by the doctors at Cedars-Sinai Medical Center in LA County, USC, for head and neck tremors. Something she never told her expert witness doctor to see. And even though she's on medication, you do have breakthrough tremors. That's the nature of the disease. This is a progressive disease. And you progressively lose your functions of your hands and legs. CMT causes claw feet, causes bowing of the ankles, and an inability to walk over time. That is why we are in the position she's in today. Not because of a box. Now, on the night of the incident, she did report to the security guard that something hit her because she felt something and turned and saw a box of dishes. She knew a box of dishes couldn't have hit her on the head because she was dead. Looks to the other side. Oh, aircraft carrier box. Had to be it. Because she doesn't know what hit her in the head. She testified in her death, but she didn't see it. It's only after she feels the sensation that she then starts to look around to see what it is. She gets a security guard. She goes and gets the manager on duty, who unfortunately died of cancer. I can't produce him as a witness. An ambulance was called. Fire department came. And as most fire departments do, they will check out the person. And the reason why a fire department is called is because if somebody comes into a Rite Aid, and you'll hear it from the store manager, if somebody comes into Rite Aid and says, I'm hurt, I need an ambulance, we don't ask questions. We call 911. We don't give them the 20 questions of, gee, how did it happen, where did it happen, are you sure you're hurt? No. 911, get them here. That's what you do. And that's what happened that night. An ambulance was called, and they came, and they checked her out. And what did the ambulance people find? No symptoms. Nothing. They checked her neck. They checked her back. They write on their report, no evidence of trauma. And you'll hear from the fire captain himself, and he says, what I wrote down were pertinent negatives, because I didn't want somebody coming back 3 years saying they had an injury to their neck that I didn't find. They transport her to the Good Samaritan Hospital, and again, they find no injury to her neck. 7 days later, she sees another doctor. Not her doctor at Cedars-Sinai, not her doctor at LA County Medical Center that's been treating her for over 20 years. She goes to a doctor sent by her attorney, Dr. Schemmer. And what does Dr. Schemmer find? Dr. Schemmer finds she's got a headache and a leg injury, contusion to the leg. No evidence of neck injury. That doesn't comport with what they want, so they ship her to another doctor. And another doctor. And finally, they end up with Dr. Kasimian. And when they get to Dr. Kasimian, they don't tell them about the auto accident, which didn't happen in 1994, ladies and gentlemen. It happened in 2004. Didn't tell them about the 2002 motor vehicle accident where a car ran her over. Didn't tell the doctor about any of her falls either. So when you don't tell a doctor all of your prior history, you get the diagnosis you want. It's the same thing with Mr. Valiant, and you're going to hear evidence from him that this had to have hit her on the head, and it had to have been in the aisle that she was looking at when it hit her. The reason why he has moved that way is because even though he's not a biomechanical expert, he knows that the plaintiff's deposition testimony couldn't account for the way the accident occurred. The plaintiff testified in her deposition that she's looking at Christmas ornaments, she feels something, she turns around to see where it is and drives around to go find it. Well, that's in another aisle. The other thing is, that box is only 16.5 inches tall. If the box falls and Ms. Lopez is looking at the Christmas ornaments here, and if the box falls, this is a 5-foot wide shelf. Physics being what it is, gravity means that thing's only going to fall 16.5 inches over. It's not going to fly off the shelf and magically fly 3 feet and hit her in the head. So they have to change their theory. You're going to hear evidence from the store manager and also from defendant's expert witness talking about how the item was shipped, how it was stocked appropriately and in conformity with industry standards. You're also going to hear testimony from Dr. Cruz, who's a radiologist, and not just any radiologist. Dr. Cruz is one of the foremost radiology experts on the West Coast. He runs RadNet, which is one of the largest radiology companies that does most of the radiological reviews. He has seen thousands of these x-rays. Dr. Cruz's testimony will be that what you find in her neck when the MRI is actually taken is a degenerative condition that she has had for many, many, many years. Because even though she's had this disease, the doctors at LAUSC never took an MRI of her neck. They took an MRI of her head when she started complaining of hearing loss, another problem with the disease, because they wanted to rule out an intracranial tumor. They didn't find a tumor. They didn't go any deeper. He'll tell you it's a degenerative condition, as will Dr. Tower, the orthopedic expert for the defense. So, ladies and gentlemen, at the end of this case, we will have evidence before you that shows that that box was stocked appropriately and in conformity with industry standards, that it was eye height to everybody else, and nobody saw this accident occur. The standard is, do you stock your boxes in accordance with industry protocol and industry standard? And we've hit that, which I can guarantee you, ladies and gentlemen, you'll hear testimony to that fact. That the defense is entitled to a defense verdict in this case. And that's what we'll be asking for. Thank you.
Thank you.